Good morning. I am higher vibrations, and so are you. And man, has it been a crazy little bit? We just barely had a really big solar flare leave the sun, and X 1.9, if I'm not mistaken. Let me hurry and pull it up really fast. Quite large. It just happened, like in that past hour or less. And yeah, it's a X 1.9. So if any of you are feeling that, you're not the only one. There's a lot of stuff that's happening. We're also in the path of Three Eye Atlas. Remember that comet everybody was talking about all the time, the Nada comet? Well, it left behind a debris field in its wake, and we're in it. So there's a lot of interesting reports of different meteors, meteorites, depending on where it's at. If it hits the earth, it's one name. If it doesn't, it's another. Anyway, a lot of that stuff going on. It's the new moon. Happy new moon. What a great day for manifestation. Today is a day where you plant the seeds of that which what you will sow on the full moon. So a lot of us are feeling this kind of really crazy energy. Often when the solar flares leave the sun, I'll feel them just right away. In fact, sometimes I'll feel them before. Last night was a very strange night. I had a lot of heart related, kind of just feeling my heart all through the day, on and off, which is typical for when we're having some really heightened frequencies or energies coming off of the sun, solar related, and stuff like that. So it's very fascinating that we're here now in this really strong energy, and it's lining up with tomorrow is when Neptune goes back into Aries, and a lot of stuff for tomorrow that we already have this expectation of being in a geomagnetic storm of some kind all the way till the 22nd. Also, by the way, I don't know, something random. It's World Snow Day. Now, how could it possibly be World Snow Day? I'm just curious. If the hemispheres are different seasons, huh? Anyway, so happy World Snow Day. Just in time for, we actually got a alert that on Saturday we're going to get an inch of snow here, which is pretty exciting. Anyway, lots of energy coming through. Anyone who's feeling these fluctuations in your energy field, noticing you're just really, really tired, profoundly tired, appetite shifting, um, noticing that it's what we call heart palpitations, strange releases or purges through the skin, the pores, um, noticing like this skin rashes and stuff like that, typically have to do with this purge that we're doing. We always think that when we purge, that we're going to purge through bathroom trips alone. So there's also the mucus, which is why we spit that mucus out. And then on top of that, we'll have a couple of other things, but the other main one is it'll go out through our pores, which requires more mineral salt, more water. And you'll notice that sometimes they kind of get stuck, which is ends up being like acne like symptoms, sensations. It's like bumps, that like weird ingrown hair kind of thing. This is what our bodies are purging right now, and so more mineral water that you can remember to have that, and your body needs it right now while it's depleting it. A profound change in mind and body is what we're undergoing at this time. However, it's a more gradual way of this profound change. We often think of profound change in mind and body. We think of that and we're like, wow, okay, that's a spiritual awakening. That's a physical ascension experience. So how have we been doing this for however many years? It's a gradual process. I actually asked Spirit that. I said, why can't we just purge it all right now? Like, just let's have it done. I'm a I'm a girl of the 80s, rip off that band-aid and move on. And they showed me an image of our bodies wouldn't be able to cope with the level of purging that we need to do. Hey, dude, I just looked up. There's 44 people here. I've been on for 4 minutes and 44 seconds. That's a lot of force. Anyway, allowing yourself to purge gradually over time enables your longevity. It ensures your longevity, rather. And so that's the answer to that question, in case anyone's ever wondering. Good to see you, Diamond Heart 888. Blast off. Yeah, dude. We are so in it. We are so in it. Just another reminder, collective, to hit the like button. Thank you, Wade. I appreciate you. It's always good to see you. Welcome. Vanya says, hey, family. I'm just about to blow up with all of these solar flares. I know, right? Anyone else feeling emotionally overwhelmed and triggered by everything and everyone? Yep. Yep. It's really weird. It's like a volatile emotional experience right now, isn't it? I'm noticing a lot of delay. I wonder if it's because I have all this other stuff up. I should probably close some things. I wanted to show you guys some images of the sun and the flare that left, but it seems to be lagging my system, so I'm just going to close it out. There's so many examples of it right now. The sun did let off a really big solar flare. An X 1.9 solar flare left the sun just a little over an hour ago. And we're already in a solar storm, or I would call it a long-lasting geomagnetic storm, but it's we're being pummeled. It's going to go till the 22nd. Today's the 18th. Along with that, when energy like this comes in, I feel like it connects to me emotionally speaking, but then also my appetite wanes. I don't feel like eating much, and I just kind of feel more tired, but then I'm not able to sleep because all the energy that's moving through us. The vibration on the chest area. Now, this isn't specific to the heart area. What I'm talking about is like torso, like like this subtle vibration or shaking inside. Along with this other emotional body that Vanya mentioned. Where for me, I'm noticing it as frustration or irritability, and it's just like wow, and then it's gone. Like that's how I'm feeling it, but there's a lot of them, and it's not for anything in particular. You know what I mean? Um, with that also, I'm noticing this different octave of ear ringing that's been happening, because a lot of us are having this ear ringing and we've been having it for some time, and we've recognized the differences between tinnitus and this. However, it's different. It's different, right? And it kind of sounds like it's the sun communicating with us. I know, however strange that may sound to you. Along with that, weird twitching in the body again. That whole shaking it up stuff that's happening, right? Berta says, do you have the impression that we are chasing carrots? The left ear is hot, the right ear is cold, right? It does kind of feel like that. It does feel like, but it's to assist us to stay in the moment, to trust the universe and know that when you place your foot out to take that step, the universe will be there to catch you. Not always is that easy to practice, as I would say it is a practice. But very much the universe is always there to catch you. And this is a big deal. This is a good big deal that we're in right now. Like this is the part that we really came here for. I didn't come here to ascend, and I bet most of y'all didn't. Like a lot of us, we came here to show that it can occur. We came here to assist and release all of those who had been in this vicious cycle of continual reincarnations. Like that's who most of us are. Like what we're doing, we're ascending a planet. And this is something that we've done. This is in our repertoire, and that's why we got chosen. Among all of the volunteers, we were chosen because we can. We're able, capable, full of the wisdom, experience, and all the tools that is needed for this. You're not going anywhere. You're good. You're going to be taken care of, right? But it does feel like that. Shortness of breath, heart seems to skip a great deal. Yeah, and Dwayne, I've also guided people throughout the years, and if you want to, I'm finding that it really helps. It does. It really does help if you can. I'm not saying you specifically, but anyone. If you're having heart related stuff, go get checked out. And when you get checked out and find out that it's not like a physical thing, I mean, like not like a medical thing, then you don't have to go into the fear of it. Then you don't have to live in the fear part, because that's one of those one things, the heart related stuff, that I don't know how to like be like, be calm all the time about it. Because it's like, whoa, what's that? But it's been consistently happening for me. And I've gotten the clean bill of health enough times, you know what I mean? But yeah, it's I can say this, that people who have it, usually it activates and gets like more during big solar flare activity things. Though I am relating to the shortness of breath, I have got this like mucusy thing going on. So you may hear me, my breath is a little bit more labored. Um, and usually that like the mucus moving out of our body is some type of a purge, so, and we got a bitter cold snap that just happened. Like there's dandelions growing in the yard, you know, and now all of a sudden it's cold, you know, so like cold. Now, maybe not as cold as I was used to in Washington, but it got down to like 10 degrees last night, Fahrenheit. So anyway, yeah. Good to see you. Good to see you. Good to see you, Lois. Welcome. I always want to call you Louise, and I don't even know if I'm saying your name right, because I need to look that up, because I really do want to say it right. Thank you for coming. Good to see you. I literally feel like electricity is running through me from head to toe, says Vanya. Yeah, and that's causing that for me too. It's like these jolts, bzz, 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 like these different spots. And I'm noticing along with this, like my body's like reacting, like my different muscle groups are having spasms, like triggering spasms by this electricity, if that makes any sense. Yeah. Thanks for saying that. I totally am. And like, it feels kind of weird in the scalp. Like it's kind of tickly, not unpleasant exactly, but then when it gets down to like yeah, something's going on. Something awesome. Is anyone having really itchy skin? I'm having raised, itchy, and stinging patches, especially around my eyes. Also stinging all over my body. Anyone else? I can say that the skin light itchiness I'm having, like that was what I was talking about, the purge. And I'm sure you were writing that before I had said that. So yes, um, just little areas. It's not incredibly uncomfortable. It's just noticeable. How to solve this is Epsom salt. If you can take a bath in Epsom salt, it would be the best. Let yourself soak in, you know, warm to mildly hot water, right? I mean, not cold is what I meant. And because the warmth really helps it to like open up your pores so it can like clean all that out and just kind of soak in it. You can also, if you can't do that, um, if you are able to like do like kind of like a sponge bath concept, or in the shower, have a moist cloth, like a washcloth, and like sprinkle Epsom salt on it and then like exfoliate your body with it. That does help. It's a lot better if you can soak, but not everybody can. There's a lot of places that don't have bathtubs and stuff. Excuse me. So if that's you, you using a cloth works. I've also had people where their body just wanted to absorb it, and so they just did foot soaks. But yeah, it really does help to get Epsom salt right on the area that the rash or the skin is being irritated at. Greetings, feeling great, feeling changed. Good, awesome, Jim. I'm feeling pretty good too. I really am. I'm noticing that my breathing is labored only because I'm trying to talk a lot. But like I'm tired. I'm mostly tired, and like that little bit of like the zap stuff, I've gotten used to it. A lot of the symptoms that we have right now, I've kind of just over the past couple days, it's become expected or anticipated. So I'm used to it now. So excuse me. Yay, made it live. Good to see you, Barb. Welcome. Terry's here. Hello, beautiful souls. Welcome, Terry. Do you ever try to mention the solar flares to someone who says that they have been to the doctor with that says they've been to the doctor with issues that we have been dealing with, and the doctor says there's no issue, and they stare. I laughed at the first part of that comment because I understand I got what you were about to say in some way, because yeah, most the people who are really invested and indoctrinated, and when they hear these other things, they've been taught that it's hokey. They've been taught that it's woo woo. You know, that's what people say. It's not woo woo, or it sounds woo woo, but woo woo, I guess, now means like false, scam kind of stuff. But um, this is legit happening. We're actually evolving in our bodies. An ascension symptom is a very real thing. The science is even embracing it now, but it's taking a while for people to slowly catch up. Now, the way that science is openly embracing it, publicly speaking, is that they're saying that what's happening is people are have all this DNA that's in dormancy, that's coming out of dormancy, right? So before all those years, and I know there's a lot of us here that remember this, they told us that 90 to 95% of our DNA was junk DNA, when in fact it was simply DNA that was in dormancy. It had higher purpose. And at that time, we weren't aligned to access or utilize those purposes. And now the solar radiation energy that's coming from the sun through these series of solar flares, that some are referring to the solar event as a overnight thing for some reason. And that's just gotten its whole thing over there. People are trying to manifest it. But it's happening now. It's been happening. In order to impart change on any species, solar or radiation therapy is required. Like, I'm not talking about medicine. We're talking about evolution, and observing it. You can see this. It's actually even in the code of that movie, The Fifth Element. They brought radiation in for her body to grow skin, to evolve a protective layer, right? Anyway, so that's what we're doing right now. We're having a profound change in mind and body over a series of years. Hopefully it's not been decades for some of us. It has been, but right now what's happening is now we're in this window of time where it's a very short and jump into it place, right? So there's not going to be a lot more, not in the way that we're judging it right now, anyhow. And so, as this radiation comes in, we've been in solar maximum, and this has been a uniquely interesting solar maximum. All this radiation therapy is coming in and imparting the ability for our body to begin to climb the rungs of this ladder, to ascend this staircase, to ascend, to contain more of the spiritual DNA code than was previously accessible. It's turning on the machine. It's like an old factory that's been off in the woods and no one's touched for a long time, and someone turns like in those movies, and everything starts to like rattle into motion. That's what's happening right now. And we're learning how to use these parts of ourselves. And, it doesn't feel a lot of it doesn't feel that super. It doesn't feel great in every experience. Hippie chick, good to see you. Hi everyone. My right ear is hurting for 3 days. Interesting. My right ear specifically too. This is my right side. Specifically too. I'm having all kinds of this. It's really interesting that I was hoping someone was going to say something about that. Right here. It's really this whole part. There's something's going on here. Fascinating. And it's not an ear infection. It's like there's that I'm purging from my ear. It's really weird. We are in earth ruminating womby says together ways together. Wait. We are in earth's ruminating womby ways together. Womby ways together. We are in a very awesome place for sure. I don't know what you said. I'm sorry. I don't understand. Womby ways to get her together. Hi, Mila. Hi, all. Good to see you, Ralph. Welcome. Big X class inbound. That's right. X 1.9 just left about 2 hours ago now. I would say closer to 2 hours than before. Like I think I was trying to say it was like it had been an hour, and let me think. Hour and a half. Yeah, so 2 hours now. 2 hours ago. And we're expected to already be moving into a geomagnetic storm from the previous solar stuff that we had going on. And so currently we are in a G1, it looks like. I'm just double checking to tell you. Yeah, we're in a G1 geomagnetic storm right now. Um, and there's here, let me actually, oh, wait, I was going to show you guys on the computer. My computer's acting laggy, so I'm just going to, I know there's a lot of amazing graphs. If you do want to check anything out, one of the places you can go to is spaceweatherlive.com or spaceweather.com. There's also NOAA. There's space weather. There's a lot of different things that you can see. But I'm going to pull up one more graph real quick for you guys. And I'm just going to hold it up to the screen because, it's my phone, but it's better than you can see the spike that we're having right now. This side over here, this yellow line is where we are right now, and it's up to almost 5. So this geomagnetic storm is only just picking up, is what I'm trying to say. So yeah, definitely mixing with the new moon and alignments underway, things are getting exciting. Yeah, and like you guys probably already know, we're in the debris field, the path left behind in the wake of Three Eye Atlas, the not a comet that we haven't heard much about for a little while, but supposedly after it gets to Jupiter, it's going to come back. Um, it left behind this huge debris field, and we're in it right now. So you're going to see a lot more stuff on top of a meteor showers already. Expected the Ursa minor meteor shower. Um, I'm not really sure how to pronounce that, honestly. There's a lot of things that I read and I don't ever say with words out loud of my voice, so I don't know how to say it out loud. Anyway, um, so we're already having that, and then there's a couple of other comets that are coming into view and becoming really bright and fascinating how things are working out. The day of magic is on the 22nd, and then that's on Thursday, and that's between now and that day. We got a lot of stuff going on. We're going to be in a pretty much a geomagnetic storm constantly through that part of the week. So today, tomorrow, the next day, and so on until the 22nd. Today's the 18th. I know I'm talking fast. I have so much I want to say, and I don't have a whole lot of time to talk about all of it because we're already almost halfway through. It's so good to see all of you here. If I don't address your comment, I'm gonna try though. Okay, been in the sauna, cold plunging. Good job. That's awesome. Way to quiet and calm, says the P factor. It heals like nothing else. Yeah, dude, that is so good for you. I actually did not know why I came here, but always had the feeling, even as a child, that I was waiting for something to happen. Yeah, right? And the whole time you're like watching everybody else act all kind of crazy or doing weird stuff. You're like, why are they doing that? Like, I remember more than once I being in a group of friends and like watching this catty thing going on, but they're doing it with me too over a guy that I'm not interested in. And then I would just blurt out that they should just take him home, but in not so kind of terms. But it wasn't being mean either. Just you know, can you do that part so we don't have to do the drama? Because I don't want it on me. Why are you guys acting like that? What are you doing? Yeah, and then just anticipating and waiting for the why I'm here part. Yeah, other people relate to. I think a lot of us do. Friends and family are all happy and loving life. It's just me falling apart, says Barbara. You know, it for one to be put together the most precise way, we must first fall apart. And it feels like falling apart, but you're actually it's the first steps of putting yourself together. I know exactly what you're talking about. Believe me. I mean, I spent decades and decades in chronic depression, suicidal, and also had acted on it a couple of times and just didn't want to be here and felt like this was some type of prison planet and all kinds of different stuff. And then I started to choose to recover, which is what we're doing by being here at all, by speaking up, by joining these groups, by saying something. That's really the initiation of that process. And so I'm proud of you for saying something. I really am. Know that, you know, I'm thinking of you and I'm sending you love. And you're going to be okay. I know you are. And I hope you join some of our groups and talk. Speaking, really, people will come to the Zoom meetings and sometimes they won't turn on their camera, but letting yourself speak, using the voice, it's so powerful. So I hope that you join us sometime. Barb in West Florida says, wait, Florida, that's Florida, right? And because most people do not seem to know what we are talking about, I wondered yesterday how many times I have been here to be at this stage. Yeah, I think a lot of us, many, yeah, for sure, have been here almost countless times, right? And then there are the others that I notice of us that are like kind of new here. We've been to places like this, and we've come in as like an outside resource because everybody kind of got stuck. And so we come in from a really high place. And that doesn't mean that any of the energies that are already incarnated here weren't high also. It's just that they'd been here too long, right? And so I feel like that's what a lot of this is. A lot of this is that we've come from a higher frequency or higher dimensional space than many who are experiencing this rush. You know what I mean? And so therefore we have this innate knowing. Like we just know. Like all of this stuff that's going on, people are only just figuring it out. And if that's you, if you're just figuring it out, that's perfect. You figured it out just when you're supposed to. Though to see such a quantity of individuals all figuring it out here at this time is really fascinating. What a wave of awakening we are in the middle of. And more and more we're going to find, I don't feel like a sage or a master. I don't feel like a teacher. I certainly don't feel like a teacher, let alone some kind of leader. I'm just me, like I'm the person who always just went, why are they doing that? And then there was me. I'll tell a story. Everybody's doing the same thing. And then there's me. I'm over here going, I'm going to go play with the cat. You know what I mean? And they've given different labels and things, introvert and just all these different words to try to explain people like us. But we are a spirit having a human experience, not a human having a spiritual experience, right? We've come here to also experience life, but we've known on so many levels that we're from somewhere else. And why is that? I've been told, Spirit and I have conversations. We have some fun conversations, and it has, for me anyway, and I know that a lot of people it's true for, is as a result of having come from such a high density, we kind of came in hot. It's not true. Right. Oh, I'm so glad I'm saying it right. Okay, Lois, thank you. I think there's an E at the end if you say Louise, but then I met somebody who had it spelled this way, and they called themselves Lewis. Her name was Lewis. So anyway, I just wanted to make sure. Good. Thank you so much for telling me. Lizzie, good to see you. Hi, Mila and all. Welcome. Bro, they're actual 50-year-olds watching this. I don't know what you're talking about, but it's good to see you. Crazy, strange spots all over the back of the head and constant neck pain. Yeah, I'm noticing this neck stuff too. And yeah, the blocking like of that part, like, so what we're having a flow going through where you're not able to, Okay, so through the spinal space, it goes from the brain stem all the way down to the tailbone. We have this flow. This flow allows, it's like, it looks very much like a Kundalini kind of flow. Though when this is occurring, you kind of almost feel like the tap, tap, tap on your actual head. Like, are you noticing that? I'm just curious. Crazy, strange spots all over the back of the head and constant neck pain. So I'm wondering if it's the same thing. Purging out of these spots, releasing, letting your body actually move off of you. You know what I mean? Like, so what I mean by that is literally popping it, removing whatever is underlying and what the energy is underneath it that's like physical that we're purging, moving through the pores, right? Hi, Mila and all the tribe. Flare X got me zooming. Yeah, right. It's been crazy. It's been crazy. Something big is coming and it's happening right now. It's not easy. Keep going. We are so close, says Charmony. The dark is before the new dawn. Solar flares, planetary alignments, and more. There's so much cool stuff going on right now out there, guys. If you look in like any of these like celestial tracker kind of things, it's overwhelmingly just a huge quantity of knowledge and information of how much is happening right now. If you can, I don't know what your sky is like, because there's all kinds of weather going on out there right now. But if you can, check out and you can see the stars. Spend some time in the night sky in the next couple of days, tonight, tomorrow night. There's a lot of showers happening out there, meaning like celestial showers, meteor showers. We're in a debris field and a lot of cool things. This is why this is significant, Kay. Thank you so much for bringing that up, Charmony. Is the awesome stuff that got left behind by the Three Eye Atlas vessel that moved through, we're moving through now. And this was like little pockets, like umbrellas of like useful stuff that's coming down into our planet and raining onto us. Like, we're receiving it too, you know, and so letting ourselves just kind of embrace that, and being is 333 right now. Brace and embrace that. You'll find that, you know, the things that you're attempting to access, you'll find it easier. I know the new moon makes it seem like that you're not spending time in there with the moon, and you are. It's the dark moon phase. And so out there, you're going to see a lot more of these meteor showers and comets and stuff, you know, so check it out if you get a chance. And then it'll rain. It's raining down on us, man. People are getting meteorites landing inside their backyards. You know, like, there's all kinds of stuff. Check, if I don't know how much of these you've checked out. Like, there's a website. Oh goodness, I was gonna actually put that up, and I forgot. My computer's been acting silly, so I figured just to. However, it's called spaceweather.com. And on spaceweather.com, you can actually see a list of objects that are close to us. And there's quite a lot. So I'm just going to hold up my phone just to show you an example. See those little lines? The darker the line, the closer it is to us. And a variety of things but most of that stuff in the middle there, most of those pink lines and darker pink and stuff are all right in this window of time. So we have, you know, between the 14th and yesterday, where all of that pink really was really at. But we're still getting a lot more of it. So check it out if you want. It's really cool. Salt bath with sound bath audio. Yeah. I've seen this other one too, where there's this waterproof speaker that changes color, and it goes through all the different chakra colors, that you can listen to the music that you're playing under the water. So you take it in the bath with you. I had one for a little while, though I never put it in the water. Like, there's a part of me that was like, is it really going to be okay? You know, but it does, it glows and it changes all the different chakra colors. It's really helpful. I've also seen some of these you can buy where they're, you know, you can choose the color that it glows at, and it makes the sound that is connected with that particular chakra. correlated with the color. Donna says, "Hi from Cottonwood, California. Nice and sunny. My vertigo is getting better." I'm so glad your vertigo is getting better. I'm happy it's sunny too. It's gotten sunny here. It's 43 degrees, but it's sunny. It's crazy how I just dropped from cold down to cold. Hey Mila, I feel we are healing in plasma cells. Clusters of cells get bloopy, like forces through cause the sensations. Nitrogen in our DNA unlocking. Yeah, good to see you. Yeah, I did. I noticed that too. Like I feel like it's really like upgrading isn't the right word, probably more like it's aligning. It's giving us that missing part, right? Or it's waking that part up, turning that part on inside of our molecular structure. That is where we're waiting for, right? Pretty cool. Yeah, it's good stuff. Love to all, says Diamond Heart 888. It's friggin' wild. We got this, Diamonds. We got this. And you know, Charmony's gonna be on the show next month too. I'm really looking forward to that. It's gonna be fun. I think if I didn't respond to you, I meant to. I'll check on that. Pardon me. Own your shit. Hi, beautiful Mila and awesome fam. Happy to be here. Very sleepy this eve. So may only be a while. Huge emotional purge past few days, and then feel the shift today. Seems winding up cycles for new X. Yeah, I was just getting ready for this big solar explosion. It's Earth facing this X flare. It was pretty profound to look at. It was an X 1.9. And it's not done, guys. The sunspot that is Earth facing too, it looks like Thor's hammer. What is that all about? That it looks like Thor's hammer? It also kind of looks like an hourglass, like sands through the hourglass. So were the days of our lives. My mother. She's got, yeah. So there's a lot, but you know, guys, Own Your Shit is a YouTube channel that teaches tapping and all kinds of really awesome, like wiggle out the energy kind of stuff. She's awesome. She really kicks it. So if you want to check it out, her channel, Own Your Shit, right? Shining bright, Diamond Heart. Yeah, she is. I love you guys. You guys are awesome. Hey, Vegan Vixen. Didn't mean to read your letter. Sorry, Ralph. Hey, everybody. Okay. Yes, Mila, I've felt so much come through downloads, upgrades in the past couple of days. My mouth won't keep up with what I'm wanting to express. Me too. It's so crazy. I'm speaking so quickly, trying to get everything in here because I know there's a lot of us that like I want to make sure I click as many people as I can. Sarah, it's so good to see you because I see all of your notes. I just can't always write all of them. Thank you, Barbara. We feel we're coming into a very creative time, broken down / shattered, so that we can create the firm foundations of the new. Hugs for all those feeling the intensity of the falling away. And it is a falling away. Sometimes it's like having that really bad sunburn. You know, for like a couple of days, you really can't, there's not a lot you can do because you're literally an open wound. Your whole body is, you know, waiting to scab, you know? So letting this all come up, you know, and release itself off of you so you can then reconnect with, you know, the higher frequency you that we're all connecting to, you know? So thank you for commenting. I wanted to say once again, if anybody wants to check her channel out, she's awesome. Okay. Didn't mean to click a conversation. That's right. Choose life. Sometimes it seems like hell, but it does get better. And it can only be hell if your spirit knows you are here for better. It can only be hell if your spirit knows you are here for better, right? Like knowing that we're here to solve, you know, and uplift really helps. It knowing that we're healing the collective along with ourselves really helps, when we're all doing this together, all of us, so I'm just a chill guy. That's right. And while we're doing it, like, we're going to have some fun things coming up. Just me, la. Our only job is to be. You know what? I actually got told, I was asking a series of questions, and I got told that if it's hard, it's not your job. And hard, what I'm talking about, right? What I do might be hard for somebody else, but it's, when things, if you're noticing that what you're doing every day is hard, maybe it's time to change something, or to omit something, to stop doing something that isn't lining up for you. You know, most people, I would say the vast majority of people, have spent a life with collecting and not healing that collected stuff. An old way of healing was to bring the stuff into our own field and transmuting it inside of our own bodies. We don't do that anymore. That's an old way of doing things. And so we're slowly learning that instead we want to just fill up the light and like the overflow, the spill out is what's meant to assist everybody else, right? And so while we're doing that, it just takes time to practice. It takes a little bit of time. Spinal issues the last 2 months. Interesting. So this whole thing with the spine, it keeps coming in that, like, there's something here going on and we're purging it out. And like, you may have like these little sores that was brought up earlier, and just let the stuff leave you. I know this is going to sound kind of gross. Hey, 111 people here. It's going to sound kind of, that was interesting too, because at that time we had been on for 41 minutes and 41 seconds. 4141111. Interesting. Is that a lot of the parasites that are in our bodies, a lot of them are around the head area, eyes, mouth, brain area. This is not to freak anybody out. It's regular. Like, it's not even a big deal to, like, it's a little bit of clove water, maybe like black walnut, or pumpkin seeds, or, of course, wormwood. There's a lot of different things we can do that for that. But we'll start to notice that there will be like zit kind of things, sores that your body starts to purge out around the base of your skull, and usually on one lobe or the side or the other, rather than right in the middle. But then you'll also get them right in the middle too. And this has got nothing to do with hygiene. Typically, it's your body purging. I'll also notice them along the lines here. This is where they'll also purge out. It's something that's happening. A lot of people have been reporting the past couple of days that they're having a purging of this way all down their spine, which is the same flow. So I'm really glad that you brought that up. Yeah, a lot of people are doing this. Finally remembered my password. Yay, and for Red Riding Hood. I'm so glad for this account. Been watching since 2022. Hope you're well. It's time you can feel it. It is so time. We are in it to win it. Yeah, dude. I'm so happy you found your. Oh, thank you so much, Barb. Thank you. Life is the universe saying, I want you here. Oh, how beautiful. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. And for Red Riding Hood. Thank you, Mila, the light beam. Sarah. It's good to see you, Sarah. Hi, beautiful everyone. Good to see you, Lavender Sky Panther. She's also got a really awesome YouTube channel if anybody wants to check her out. I had a seizure a few nights ago. Oh my goodness. Year of the Fire Horse 2026. Combined with a mini stroke. The energies are very strong. I've actually heard about people having some stuff, heart-related things happen when the solar flares got strong enough. Everybody's different, and this isn't to cause fear. Though I do know that the first thing that they do when you walk into a medical facility and you're having something like this, heart or something like that related, they give you salt water in your IV, and the type of salt water they give you is not ionized salt, the table salt that has 2 minerals and a bunch of radioactive, all that stuff. We're talking about pink Himalayan salt, Great. Celtic salt, um, varieties of certain kinds of sea salt that are also useful. I think they have around 70 minerals. Pink Himalayan salt has like 82, if I'm not mistaken. Um, our bodies need to replenish these electrolytes that are found in these in the mineral salts. I'll put the mineral salt in water sometimes and just drink it that way. Sometimes I have a shaker. Here it is, that I keep, and I just have some, put some on my hand, put a little bit on my tongue. It absorbs into your body faster if you don't swallow it right away. It absorbs faster when absorbed in the mouth. As soon as it passes your mouth and goes into your throat, then it goes from around somewhere around the 90s absorption rate, percentile absorption rate, down to like 2 or 3%. The different membranes in our digestive tract, 2 to 3% absorption. So put it on your tongue. You don't have to put a whole bunch. You're not going to burn. You're not trying to burn yourself. Just a couple of grains. Oh, I've learned to like it a lot. So, but I will follow the guidance of around a teaspoon of salt a day. A lot of people think that's like way overboard, but there's some schools of thought that suggest even more. Anyway, that does help. It does help. I'm really sorry to hear this. I'm not giving you medical advice, okay? This is what I do. This is what I've done, and this is what I've been guided to do and found through my own version of research. When I discovered that the Heart Association of America paid or blackmailed or something people who discovered that salt was so helpful for them to not tell anybody that was only just a couple of decades ago. Like that shows you that the Heart Association of America is not here to like help anybody. But anyway, I didn't mean to go that way with it. Infrared Writing Hood says They Live is about to hit 1 million views. I uploaded it 1 year ago. The film with the sunglasses that show you the truth. Yeah, I just recently watched that for the first time. Actually, it was meant to be called They Live, We Sleep, but they wouldn't let it be put out that way, so they took off the last part, but they still snuck it into the movie. Yeah, there's a lot of interesting code in that movie. So, I'm seeing everybody's talking to each other. It's awesome. Hey, y'all. Good to see you. Welcome, Al. Dude, it snowed in Northwest Florida this morning. I know, right? Didn't last long, but actually giant flakes. Really? Even having giant ones. Excuse me. Yeah, I did notice that because I have a friend out here from Australia who's trying to travel around and do things, and I've been kind of paying attention to weather for her, and I saw that. And I was like, oh my gosh, how far is it going to get? But Brittany says, you should reach out. I love her. Dana Capel. I don't know how to say her last name. I'm assuming that's correct. To be on your show. She got lots to talk about when it comes to plasma. It would be very interesting convo. Totally. I will ask her. Or she can say is no. There's some really cool people that we're going to be having on in the next couple of days. We also had some really great shows already this year. If you want to check any of those out, they're always available on replay. My head and neck have been hurting so much. Major migraines. Yeah. A lot of people have been talking about the migraines. I've been noticing, like, for me, it's a little bit more dull, but it's just persistent. It's like long lasting. That part is what wears me down. Honestly, that's also what I use salt for. I kind of sound like sometimes to myself between Epsom salt and like pink Himalayan salt. I feel like I'm that guy from My Big Fat Greek Wedding, the father that's Windex. Like the answer to everything is, but you'd be surprised. You'd be surprised how many, like, for instance, did you know cholesterol is what our cholesterol, salt, and sugars are the base of our brain. And this whole time telling us that cholesterol was bad when it was actually what was helping our brains. That butter, there's nothing wrong with butter. It was people invested in a product And also in and perhaps big pharma, there's different fingers in different cookie jars kind of thing, sold us a story, where butter, it's the synthetic butter that's bad for you. It's, just saying. I don't mean to keep going off on these tangents. These are not normally my side conversations that come through. We're definitely in it right now. Corona holes, solar flare, Schumann resonance. Right? You guys see that freaking Schumann resonance too? I didn't even mention that. Comet debris. No wonder NASA got them all off the space station. Not just the ones that's not well. Big upgrades. Yeah. Lots of stuff going through right now. It's crazy how much is coming through. I feel some really strange energy. Yeah, the Alzilla Energy Healer. I like your name. Yeah, it's I'm noticing that solar stuff coming in too. Like I feel like, so what happens is you have the photons, which is the light particles, right? And they get here from the sun like almost immediately. And there's a whole bunch of us out here that feel that, like notice that, and it affects us, sometimes unpleasantly so. It'll affect our heart. We'll notice heart palpitations. We'll notice feeling like our body is vibrating. We'll notice migraines are really common when it first hits. And then it'll take some time, typically a day or three, somewhere in there. I've seen some that have taken 4.5 days to get to us. So um, then that's when the protons, the physical parts of it reaches us. And so we'll feel it, and it usually catches us off guard. And then we feel it. At that point, it's more of like a underlying vibrational field, right? So it just depends on where you are, how lined up your body is, and no shame, because you know what, I feel it too. My body quakes too. I have heart palpitations too. I'm feeling the weird zaps in the body. I'm having the purge, these weird like bumps that are like wanting to be popped in like the back of my head, like near the hairline sort of. And I have really great hygiene, just so you know. You know what I mean? But that's something that's happening. I'm getting them along my neck, my entire ear, and this whole side, the right side. All kinds of stuff is purging out. It's the most bizarre thing. And it all really initiated last night. And I kept looking. I'm like, what is this that we're feeling right now? Because something was big. I knew something was big. But most of the charts I looked at, there wasn't much reference to it. And then just a couple of hours ago, we got a big X class flare. I hadn't even considered the fact that coronal hole is massive. And it looks just like an hourglass. Coming back to that reference again, just in time for Lavender Sky Panther, Days of Our Lives. Yeah, yeah, my mom watched Days of Our Lives. Through the sands of the sour, through the sands of, wait, I've already forgotten. Anyway, the sands of an hourglass, so are the days of our lives. Instead of as the world turns, the current Ascension Symptoms could have a soap opera on their own called As the Stomach Turns. Ha ha ha. Nausea the past, stomach the past, nauseous stomach the past 3 days. 3 days, interesting. A lot of people have been actually talking something similar about something similar. It's interesting you said that. Light integration requires a lot of oxygen, chi, and spring water. Right. And so what's the chi? How can you utilize the chi? That's qigong. That's tai chi. That's motion of your own energy. Chi is your essence. It's your energy essence, right? Your body will move it around, and it assists all parts of your body, your chi. You notice in qigong, you'll start to notice that the palms of your hands feel kind of like prickly wickly. It's really a cool little feeling. When you're doing the different kinds of tapping, you'll notice that you'll feel like the tickly wickly. You're moving your chi, and so um Oh gosh, already forgot. You own your shit. On YouTube here, she talks about a lot of this stuff too, and so I need to have you on again, girl. If you feel like coming on in February. And if anyone's interested in being on the show as a guest, that I offer Mondays and Fridays as a space for people to be able to come on and just a platform for you to activate your throat chakra, to share your story, to have a conversation. It's pretty low key, as I'm sure you've seen. And so, check it out. See if that's something that interests you. If it does, please send me an email or connect with me on Telegram. It's like a constant electric feeling in the back of the head and neck. Me like, yeah, thanks, Ralph. I was wondering where your answer. I was hoping that your answer was on here. Yeah, really feeling it too. Yeah, like, and then this, does it have kind of a dripping sensation to it also? That's what I'm also noticing. It feels like warm dripping, but it's within. It's not like a dripping. It's not like sweat or something, but there's a flow, and it does feel electric. It's really fascinating. What I was shown is that the hippocampus, which is responsible for your long-term memory, is being increased. The size, the what it is growing. And that is growing because you're being given back your memories. We all know the great forgetting, the veil, there's a lot of different words, but we don't have soul memory, right? We haven't typically had. There'll be kids here and there that have their stories. I was one of them that had memory of a previous incarnation that usually came up by the age of 4, and there's this whole thing and study about it. But most of the time we don't. Now what's happening, starting almost a whole year ago now, is we started to be given them back. Our soul memory returning then grows the space of the hippocampus. So if you it's like about here, if you go back into your head, like in the just a little off to the side, I think. It's really interesting too, because it looks like phi. It's got that not quite golden ratio way about it, right? Anyhow, this is growing now, the light of it. It's glowing like a brighter, white, and bigger. And so it's activating your third eye, your pineal gland, and purging stuff off of there and things that have been connected at the brain stem and the base of the skull and the top of the neck, that spot. There's been stuff that's been connected there that's purging off. I know it sounds kind of crazy, but it really is happening. And as that happens on an energetic level, so too do we have it on a physical level. And then there's something more now. I don't think it's more, it's just I'm seeing more of it, is that there's this spirally energy that's been attached. And it's not necessarily a bad or a good thing entirely, though its effect has caused us to have low self-worth. That's the voice on the back of the mind saying that you're not good enough, that you're not worthy of love, that you will never measure up, and all of those false truths, those lies that are being fed to you all the time is not even your voice. I know this sounds crazy. I know what I sound like, okay? I worked in social work. I was that person that was like, okay, that person probably has this diagnosis or that. No, this is straight up going down, okay? And so as we're purging those aspects, we're able to then evolve spiritually and physically speaking. Transcendence, ascension. This is something we're doing. It's crazy, but we are. And it's supposed to be done in the body that we're in. And never before has this happened. Always there's been a passing before an awakening in this scale, this way, rather. Yet now, here we are, ascended masters in motion. However sloppy and sticky and gross it might feel, you are a master at your field, in your field. Just letting yourself play is the magic. That's how and the why. When you let yourself play in what you're doing, then it's more powerful, spiritually speaking, and more long lasting. That's why I like qigong and tai chi in my own kind of way, because you play with like music, dancing concepts with it, and there's no failure. You don't There's nothing you're supposed to do except enjoy yourself and move your energy. Play with your energy, become aware of it, you know? Doing this kind of thing where you're actually feeling your own energy and it grows bigger and bigger and you can feel it, and then you can actually gift it to people. You can send it from far distances. I know it sounds kind of like I'm one of those D&D kids that's like pretending I have a fireball. But you know what? They aren't pretending as much as you think. They're emulating something that we know on a soul level we have access to. So, uh um Golden 88 says, major time on the clock glitch, not the right time. Had to keep checking time, which is the right time. Went in a shop later, a person behind the counter asking if it was daylight savings. Fascinating. I had something similar. I totally did. Was this yesterday or today? Because for mine, well, I was up really late, but it was last night. And I kept forgetting that it felt to me like I had to keep correcting myself. No, it's Saturday. No, it's Saturday, but it was technically Sunday. We don't notice it tomorrow until 6 a.m. because the clocks used to be 6 to 6. That's why midday is noon. That's why midnight is 12 a.m. because it wasn't tomorrow at midnight. 6 a.m. was tomorrow, not midnight. It was a whole thing. The same thing. The reason the calendar looks the way that it did that it does in order to align and make sure that y'all pay your taxes. It had to do with money and taxation. So anyway, but yeah, it kept feeling like not the. I felt like it was Thursday over and over and over again. Like, why isn't what? Well, I just realized that we've been on for over an hour, and so I should probably start to wrap this up. Coconut oil is so good for your skin. Olive oil, virgin olive oil, by the way. You want to be virgin olive oil. Coconut oil. I'll mix coconut oil with other things like you can mix it with castor oil and add other oils like the rosemary concept for the hair stuff. Also, like all all kinds of stuff. It's a really good medium. Our bodies are missing oil most of the time. When you're noticing that your skin's doing something, it's missing oil. We wash it off in the shower and we don't replenish it often. So but I got to get going. Thank you all so much for coming to today's live. We go live every Sunday, Wednesday, and Friday for the Northern Hemisphere. On Friday and Wednesday, it's with a guest typically. I have a guest this week, I think. I'm just waiting to be sure because I know this person's really busy. So I'm not sure if they're able to or not. If they do not, then be going live on my own, but we'll still be live. Okay. So, and then after the show on Wednesday, we have group Zoom meeting that is free. If anyone wants to join that group meeting, you'll see a link for that the day before or the morning of sometimes. If I'm not going to do it, then I'll put a thing up. There's been a few times where I've just forgotten, but that is this week. It starts at 5 p.m. Central Time. So, in order to find your time zone while you're planning ahead at this point, all you got to do is type in 5 p.m. Central Time to what's your time zone? Type in that time zone right there next to that, and then it'll tell you what the time conversion is. In the meantime, and then when it comes time for me posting it, I'll usually write a whole bunch of different time zones in there so you can kind of figure out your time zone too. That goes for 2 hours, and it's an open conversation of just loving people. It's a safe space, and we keep it that way. So if you're coming with drama, then we're going to say goodbye, and that's going to be awesome because you're going to understand it, and it's going to be beautiful for everybody in the end. I welcome everyone who wants to come with love in their heart and the desire to learn for help. Lots of times people come with questions and concerns, and they're asking for help in some way, and we are happy to offer our own uh, experience, and perhaps allowing for, that person to also grow in this way. So thank you all for being here, all of you, so much. It is so good to see all of you, and I look forward to seeing you all again really, really soon.